It's that time of the year again where we take a look at the latest ROG phone. This time we have the ROG Phone 5. Also with the phone, we have the all-new Aeroactive Cooler 5 that is new and improved and has physical buttons on the back, but we'll take a look at this a bit later. Let's get to unboxing the phone. Looking at the box this time, it's much more simpler compared to the prism shaped boxes before, but when you open inside, you actually get sort of a manga drawing inside that details, I think, one of the characters from the ROG lineup of mascots and characters, and it looks super amazing. This is one of those boxes that you actually want to keep at home and collect. Now, taking a look at what's inside the box, you get, this should be the Aero case. Yes, correct. This is the Aero case along with stickers. This is the phone. We will unpack this a bit later, but let's see what else is inside the box. Here, of course, you get your charger. This is a Type-C to Type-C charger that charges your phone up to 65 watts fast charging. And you also get the Type-C to Type-C cable. The moment we've all been waiting for, the phone itself. Let's open this. Now that I have the phone in my hands, it doesn't feel all that different. It does feel a bit lighter, and you have very thin bezels on the side, albeit the chin and the forehead here is still pretty thick, but the sides are very thin. And this is the back of the ROG Phone 5. It looks amazing, so much better than the previous two, if I may say so. And let's boot up the device and you see what sets this phone apart. So after booting up the phone, I was greeted with this screen. I'm assuming it's either a comic or a game, but let's find out. After mission completion, blah blah blah, let's see what happens next. Select a phone packaging design. So this is the one that I got, the regular ROG Phone 5, alarm crate. Ooh, AR. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen. Prepare your product box. Prepare. Oh, so that's what the comic is for. Okay, let's see what happens. Unfold the line off. Ooh, okay. I can scan each grid. Yo, look at that. So each panel on the box itself plays sort of a video if you scan it with the AR. Seems to be infiltrating a base of sorts. Of course, he's a badass, so he's gonna kill everyone. What is this? Flames? And a really cool sword, which of course also has flames. And he's gonna kill everyone here. Oh, he's not? Okay, no violence, I guess. Oh, okay, so I get to play a game. Now that I booted up the phone, let's take a quick look at the design. What's different this time is the back panel design. There aren't a lot of cutouts here this time, but there is a lot of differences as well. You see the ROG Phone 5 logo at the back and the ROG branding. But what's also different is the matrix dot design at the back panel here that is very similar to the Zephyrus G14's Enemy Matrix cover with little LED dots that emit light through it. And you can edit the ROG logo here to display up to 2 different colors. This can be done, of course, through the Armory Crate app in the phone itself. When it comes to how it feels in the hands, it's actually not too heavy considering how powerful this phone is, and its slightly curved back panels make it easier to hold as well. It's got aluminium side bumpers here as well, which add a very nice premium touch. And lastly, like I mentioned, it's got thinner bezels at the side, so when you're gaming like this, you get to see more of your game, especially your UI and your HUD on the top and on the bottom. The panel is also protected with Corning Gorilla Victus glass, which is the most powerful protective glass you can get on a smartphone today. Moving on to the display, the phone comes with a 6.78 AMOLED Full HD 144Hz panel from Samsung, and it looks, well, as usual, impressive, amazing. Any panel from Samsung is gonna look amazing, and you top that off with 144Hz refresh rate, it's gonna feel super smooth. When it comes to how the display performs, it has 300Hz touch sampling rate with 24.3 touch latency, so it's gonna feel super responsive, especially when you're gaming. It also supports HDR10 Plus certification for better color output as well, so watching movies and videos on this is gonna be awesome. When it comes to hardware, the phone of course sports the most powerful chipset you can get right now, the Snapdragon 888, along with 16GB of RAM and 256GB of internal storage. With this kind of hardware, ASUS claims that the phone can actually run Genshin Impact, which is the most resource-intensive game on the marketplace right now, at 60 frames per second, no problem. We'll have to test that out in our review coming soon. Powering the phone is a massive 6000 mAh battery, which supports 65 watts of fast charging. So yeah, after you're done gaming, the 65-watt charger will power up your phone in probably an hour or less. Now for charging, instead of using the bottom USB port here, you can also opt to use the side USB Type-C port here as well when you're gaming, so the wire doesn't really get in the way of your fingers. But of course, this is nothing new. We've seen this before on previous ROG phones, but it's nice that it's still there. Besides powerful hardware, what makes a phone truly a gaming phone is of course its features, and on the ROG phone, it's of course the Air triggers. This time, the Air triggers 5 is new and improved with more sensors, and it's placed slightly more on the edge so people with smaller fingers can reach it. So there are also new motion sensors that let you tilt the phone left and right, up and down, move it forward and backwards, and these are new gestures that you can program to do different things in video games that support it. You also get your usual sensor gestures that you can use using your Air triggers, and these of course can be programmed for different games to do different things as well. Another new feature is the new and improved Game Cool 5, a cooling system for the phone, and ASUS claims that it moves away the hotspots or the components that get really hot away from your fingers, and the CPU right now is placed in the center, away from your fingers. When it comes to audio, you get a 3.5mm headphone jack, but if you're not a fan of using headphones, you also get a dual front-facing stereo speakers, and ASUS claims that this is new and improved and offers you bigger sound, more powerful audio, which lets you not just watch movies better, enjoy movies better, but also hear more in-game. Now before I move on to the cameras, I mentioned earlier that it's got new Air triggers and new sensors. What's also new is the Aeroactive Cooler 5 here, which is the external fan that you plop on your phone to cool it down. And what's different this time is the new Aeroactive Cooler has physical triggers on the sides, which again can be programmed to do different things. The new Aeroactive Cooler this time is a bit larger, a bit fatter than before. It's not just one rectangular because the sides need to accommodate for the new physical triggers, like I mentioned before. There is a bit of a click, I'm not sure if you can hear it on my mic, but it does feel a little like your PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4's L1 and R1 buttons. There's not a lot of travel, and this feels great. As usual, you have your stand if you want to place your phone down on the table, like so. Yeah, and of course you have your vents, your fan back here, and this should be the lighting effect that syncs up with your phone when you connect to it. Now comes to the part that is probably the least important for a gaming phone, its cameras. But despite that, ROG phones usually pack decent camera setups, and it's no different this time. You get a 64MP main lens, 13MP ultra-wide lens, and a 5MP macro lens. Pretty standard stuff, but it should still perform pretty well. Well, that's it for our very quick unboxing and hands-on of the ROG Phone 5. Stay tuned for our review coming very soon. At the time of recording, we don't know the official local pricing yet in Malaysian ringgit, but we will let you know down in the description box below once we know. Remember to like, subscribe, and this is Victor signing off. Bye-bye.